Hello and welcome. My name is Dominic Davis, business leader for Hydrel. Today I have a few accent fixtures that I want to talk to you guys about, as well as the sample kit. So just go ahead and dive right into the sample kit. As you can see, it's fairly lightweight and small. Obviously we don't have all 4 fixtures inside of this case. I did that intentionally. So you only have the smaller 2 in this case, so that way it makes you a little more nimble as you're going in and out of the office of a specifier, an architect, etc. So that being said, let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. Of course, we have the new Hydrel Purple, as you guys have been seeing on our website as well as our literature, etc. We have migrated from the older emblem to now a new logo, and so I just want to make sure that I call that to note, and then we'll just continue to dive right on in. So as you can see, of course, with most any sample kits, you're going to have a tablecloth with the new logo on it, so that's going to be black. There'll be some hardware in here as well, so the hex tools that you'll be needing in order to adjust your fixture. So I'll go ahead and pull out the Aspen now. And this is going to be 120. We're going to vary the beams a little bit, but this one's going to be around a 25 degree beam. As for the cedar, it's going to be a little wider beam on this one as you start to show that one. But just as a note, this is going to be a singular optic here. As far as the cedar, we are using films there to help distribute that light a bit more. So you'll notice that there's a key difference there outside of the sizes. Both are offered in low voltage, as well as the Aspen here will be offered in 120 to 277. So within this case or this kit, we have a few accessories. They're all going to be for the cedar, but you'll have the same accessories for all the other sizes. So we have a couple of different cap sizes. This is going to be our C1 that's going to be on both fixtures, which is going to be a flush look. We do have different lens options, so just kind of bear that in mind. When we look at the lenses, this is a flush watershed lens because that lens is butting up right up to the edge of that cap. But if you look at the different caps here, this is going to be a more recessed cap. That is going to be our C2. That's going to help you taper that beam up just a smidget, so in the off chance you need that in the field, those are field replaceable. And here's going to be our 45 degree cutoff C3 cap as well. So then we got a couple of other accessories that are going to be internal. They are field swappable. I would deter folks from doing that while you're tabletopping because obviously that would be a disruption with trying to take off the caps and that sort of thing. And mind you also, the hex screws here are going to be dedicated to your knuckles and being able to adjust that to and from. But in any case, we do have those for show and tell as far as the lens options are concerned. So we have the L1, the L2, and the L3. Here, what's going to help you get various distribution options. And then we also have the honeycomb louver as well as one of those items. And then last but not least, we're going to have a few of the color filters that will also be internal to the fixture. So those are options as well. Just make sure that you note that there's only one per, so you cannot double up on these accessories. There's only going to be room for one within that fixture, and we will ship those as specified, or in the off chance you need them later, you can use those later. And then also in the flap here, I only have one example, but you'll have 30 in the case, and there'll be an option of being able to print out more. There is a quick reference card here that'll have all 4 sizes and the various schematics that are for each one. So again, you're gonna have low voltage here. The next 2 sizes up will give you low voltage and 120, and then you're gonna be focused just on M-volt on the larger 5-inch pine. So as far as lumen ranges are concerned, you're gonna be 300 lumens here, 1100 lumens here for the Aspen. As we migrate to the Palm, we're gonna get about 1500 max lumens here. And then we're gonna have the Pine that's gonna hover around 4000 max lumens. Beam distributions are 15 degrees all the way up to 55, and that's in 5-degree increments. So there's a lot of selectability there. And then if we start looking at some of the other features and options, there's 80 CRI, 90 CRI. We also have integral drivers. So in lieu of some of the other competitors like BK where they remote the driver or they have the driver underneath in a separate housing, we have the drivers integral to the housing of the fixture. So that's something that we want to note. And then as we talk about some of those options, CCT is pretty much standard across the board, 27K all the way up to 50. But as you're selecting CCT, beam distributions, 90 CRI, and that sort of thing, those are not adders for the products. So the baseline price is a baseline price. You're not paying extra for those features. And so one other thing to note about this card here on the back, we decided to add a QR code, which you can scan with your phone. And that'll allow you, it'll take you directly to the mounting accessories because we get a lot of questions on mounting accessories. So there'll be a mounting accessory guide that you can then hyperlink directly to this card. So that way, in the off chance you get questions on the fly, you can be able to answer those pretty quickly by passing these out and allowing the user to be able to scan that in and see all the different accessories that we have available.